Hello, my name is Red, and
I'm Danny.
she's currently fixing up her hair, and we are Cosplayers in the Kitchen. So it's been like probably a half a year since we made a video, and the first video that we ever made was our intro, and
That was only because we had to finish school first because we had absolutely no time, and then we had to figure out what the hell we were gonna eat.
Yeah, but today we are starting off with our very first recipe, and today we are going to be making tonkatsu. Tonkatsu is a traditional Japanese dish. You can find it at all the different Japanese shops that you live around, and you can also find it at like different supermarkets and even Japan. So this dish might be for you if you want to experience Japanese dish. You can top this off with katsu sauce. The first ingredient that you would need, which is very needing for this recipe, is
the breading.
panko breadcrumbs. Panko is Japanese style breadcrumb. They are getting panko. They're getting very popular in different like American supermarkets, so you can find this in the breadcrumb aisle.
I found them at like Ultra Foods.
You did?
Yeah, they sell it at Ultra Foods.
Then you will need some flour for when you fry it and stuff like that.
You're gonna need flour. You're gonna need eggs.
And
You're
then
gonna need the breading, and of course the pork.
And the pork. This is just like pork chops, and they're like sliced very well.
Recommended to be boneless.
Yeah, my suggestion for this dish is don't use a bone in there, because it will be harder to cook and it will be harder to cut and eat and enjoy, because you're supposed to cut it up and then serve it. So let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make your egg wash. If you guys don't know what egg wash is it on there? It's just a basic egg thing. I call it egg glue because it's kind of like the glue that holds your thing together.
Your mise en place. Make sure you throw your egg stuff out.
Yeah, make sure that you throw your egg stuff out, because eggs in America, they're not that good for you when they're raw.
Yeah, so don't ever save any just like a sanitation tip. Just don't save any breading, any flour, any leftover egg for later, because that's actually going to cause that can actually make you sick.
Salmonella poisoning.
Salmonella, of course, from the pork. You can get diseases by some kind of bacterial infection most of the time. Essentially, it is just like a trip to the emergency room for a stomach virus.
So if you ever made scrambled eggs before,
that's all you gotta do.
It's really, this is all you do, but you just don't scramble the egg or in the frying pan.
Yeah, that's just practically what you're doing, is just scrambling an egg on there.
So do you want to tell the subscribers what mise en place is?
Mise en place?
Mise en place.
Mise en place is French for everything in its place. And essentially, it's just the idea of you're using your tools and everything, but you're also putting it away so that way you have enough space to continue cooking for anything else that you have planned.
So when you make tonkatsu, you're gonna want to make sure that they're not boneless, as I said. So what you can do is put 2 or 4 together, and you can actually do this pretty easily. It's a very simple recipe. And what you're going to want to do with that is you're going to want to make little like indentations in the meat, because it helps with frying for one thing, and it helps with the way that you put the ingredients on there. So for this, you're not gonna want to add a lot of salt and pepper. You just really want it just to season just a little tiny bit. So especially what I like to do for stuff like this is I just like to put it on my hand and distribute it, because if you do it with the shaker, you might accidentally like over season it.
Do a little bit more. Once you're comfortable with
the shaker.
Whatever you're using to sprinkle the salt and pepper on, then you can probably do it yourself.
Alright, so the next step is that you're gonna want to put this in your egg wash.
Actually, best to flour it first. Don't you flour first, then egg wash?
I do both. It really just depends on like.
Cause I do I do flour first, then egg wash, because then the egg will absorb more.
I like the double flour and egg wash.
Okay.
Some people do that. Then
that's just how I was taught in school.
Then you're going to want to put it in your panko. And if you have to, just
sprinkle it on.
Sprinkle it on. This is a very messy thing to do.
Yeah, so be prepared that your fingers are gonna get all dirty.
It's gonna be like this. But that's the beauty I'm working with.
Then you put it on the plate.
Then you put it on the plate.
Don't use the same plate when you're done cooking.
Yeah, because of
you can get sick.
The egg. But
the egg and the pork too. You can get sick from uncooked meats.
And if you need to work with clean hands again, just put water on them. Now we're gonna try it Danny's way. By flouring it first. Just very subtle flour.
Then you put it in the egg.
Egg wash, and then panko. Egg a little bit more. And like the egg really helps with the frying process.
Did you notice a difference in it?
Yeah. Actually, I like this way better.
Yeah. That's how I learned when I was a little girl. So now I'm going to teach you how to do this, because I actually had to do pan frying once at school, and I used to do it at home, but I was horrible at it. But it was until I got to school where I had to have, well, I kind of learned a little tip on it. So let's first feel, it's actually kind of warm now. You kind of have to feel it. If it feels warm, then you know you're pretty much good. So let's grab a piece. And what you're going to do is you are going to you're not putting it just like that. You're actually angling it so that way you're gonna finish this way. Because if you accidentally splatter, you're not gonna burn yourself.
Tip of the day?
Yeah, tip of the day. So yeah.
And like
pan frying, the benefit is that you're not using as much oil. The downside is that it's not going to fully cook until you flip it.
And the side that's down, it should be golden brown when you flip it. Here we go. Got a better angle. Let's see.
So this is actually the last one that I put in.
And let's see the first one that you put in, or flipped.
It's this one. So underneath, it's still kind of white.
Yeah. So you're gonna need a little bit more.
Yeah. It will take a while with your first batch because you're just trying to test it out. It's your first time, so these may be a little bit more oily than the other ones that you get. But overall, with practice, you'll do a good job.
Yeah.
I believe in you people. So yeah, you gotta plate it, and if you don't want so much grease, put some paper towels on there.
Yeah, you're not gonna want all that grease because it's really bad for you, even though I
Says
like
the woman who wanted
grease.
She loves her grease, but I gotta teach people that there's other things. You can still have that tasty fried feeling without needing to deep fry almost
Then
everything. Flip it?
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, I'm very careful with my fingers. I'm coordinated that way.
So we figured out if you keep it in the pan for like at least 4 or 5 minutes, it browns a lot better. From this was our first batch. As you can see, it is not that brown.
It's golden brown, but not enough. But you have this may be a little too much. It just depends on the person. But personally for me, I would kind of prefer it a little dark.
Tonkatsu is actually really supposed to be this kind of color because it's supposed to give you that crunch, and it also allows for you to
Poking it.
the meat. It allows you to cut it perfectly because you're supposed to cut it to serve, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, this is how you make tonkatsu, and we're going to show you how it looks plated. So as you can see, this is how you would plate it. You would want the strips to be like that so that if you want to eat it in chopsticks, you can easily eat it with chopsticks. You'd want a lot of rice because that's how you would traditionally eat it if you were in a Japanese restaurant. What you can do also is put a sauce on there. Unfortunately, as I said before, we don't have a sauce. Or you can also top it with curry. Some people do that. But this is how you make tonkatsu. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions, please put it in the comment section below. And also, please follow both me and Danny on our Tumblrs. We are Danny the Party Bear and Too Kawaii for You.
You changed your Tumblr.
Yeah, I changed my Tumblr since last time. But anyway, we are cosplayers in the kitchen, and see you next recipe.
See ya!
Bye!